In January in 2020, you did an interview. You were on the show Elias Makas. You did
Yes.
the interview with him there on real estate. And then you talked about 5 buildings that were traded in order to increase the value of the properties. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So in January, Elias and I spoke about different office buildings that were traded, and they had gone for like record prices.
Mm-hmm.
The demand for investment properties in Montreal has gone up. I think a lot of that has to do with just lack of good, solid investments across the board.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people from out of province are coming and looking at Quebec as an option. Quebec is seen as a relatively undervalued, safe haven for money. Right? Money follows safety and follows and wants to follow growth, and people believe that Montreal is a growth city. And we've seen it in our statistics in terms of office vacancy. We've seen it in our just in general our employment statistics. Also, we were pretty much almost at full employment in Quebec before this pandemic. So we were so it's just good news. And these buildings that traded back at the end of last year and the beginning of this year are all office towers in the financial core.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all offices that basically that the investors have paid top dollar for them, with the belief that these are going to be they're long-term investments and long-term plays.
Okay, so I remember you mentioned in the interview that it's basically selling those buildings to other investors, and then they hold on to them.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I go back to the previous conversation, well, the conversation we're having now, but earlier, okay, maybe right now, because I know the value of the buildings is determined by the ratio of occupancy.
Right.
So let's say it goes down in the short term, but in the long term, the investors, I'm sure they're thinking downtown, it's a gold mine. There is no way that it's going to tank. Not even COVID can affect that.
Well, I think that there's going to be. I think that the valuations on buildings are certainly going to change over the short and medium
Mm-hmm.
term. I believe that real estate is all location, right?
Yes.
And I learned that in secondary one, grade 7 geography, where location was very important. And I think that's if you have an asset that's well positioned in a good part of the geography that you're in, I think that there's no, you can't lose out. I think that there's still a sense that we want to be in a downtown core, and you want to be close to the action. Look, this pandemic is obviously is rewriting some of our rules that we know as normal,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
Normal is not normal. But I believe in long term. I think that anybody who's invested in these properties and they have the financial wherewithal to hold on to them, I think that they're going to be good assets to keep.
Well said. I don't know if you wanted to add anything else on the real estate part and COVID. Any
No,
last words?
I think on the retail side, I think we're going to see some changes there. I think we were seeing some changes prior to COVID. The apparel businesses, especially, were hurting. Unfortunately, a lot of those businesses are headquartered in Montreal,
Mm-hmm.
on the Canadian side of things. So I think that there's going to be some shifting there. Retail, I think you're going to see probably retail centers are going to be more mixed use properties. So you'll have like some apparel businesses. You'll have experiential retailers. Like an axe. What do you call it? There's those axe throwing places, or the escape rooms, or stuff. Stuff that's going to drive people in once we're allowed to congregate.
Yeah,
And then you're
because
going to have a mix of residential on the same sites,
okay.
and people wanting to be close to the retail experience and be part of that. So I think that'd be my comment on the retail side. Industrial and office, I think we've touched on those. So that's what I would say.
Okay. Thank you for adding the part about the retail there.